It says I'm live. Hold on. Oh, whoa. Yeah, we're live. Okay. So, with live, you really have to like keep it going and not stop talking, because if you stop talking, it just does not work. And Egon can't stand at the moment. He's lost his base, and it's somewhere, but it might be in the trunk thing in the dining room that has a ton of DVDs in it. It might be in there. I have these Duchess powdered sugar donuts. We could try these. I had a strange thing happen with YouTube where it latched onto the logo of some food, and I don't know if I can get into trouble for you know trouble for doing food reviews. I don't know. I heard something about it and it didn't sound too good to me. So I get a bit obsessed with how it looks on here. I have because it's live, and because that's kind of a little bit different, and it's kind of actually a little bit distressing for me. I have a list of things here that I can go into if it starts to get very quiet. The deadly silence of live radio and live uh, broadcasting. So I'll try a donut though and see. We'll try a donut and see how it. Let's see how these are. I suspect it's going to be very, very dry, and I suspect I do have some liquid on standby. So, they sell these in vending machines. I think they're very popular, and especially with somebody at my work who she seems to have them up a lot, and it tastes okay. Like it's not amazing. I suspect if we put this into the microwave and heated it a little bit, it might be a lot better. And had a hot drink. This is actually a cold drink, but it is very dry stuff. So, um, does anybody here like Werner Herzog? I had a little bit of an obsession with him. He's very kind of unique because he will do a full-on drama movie with actors and everything, and then he'll do some documentaries, and the documentaries are just they're just so good. I mean, I can show you two right here. There's this one which is about so let's see. It says here is Andrew an inexpressibly beautiful and moving film. Do whatever you must to see it. It's an indescribable, haunting human story of airships, disasters, and the mysteries of the Guyanese jungle. No one else in non-fiction filmmaking is doing what Herzog is doing, and no one could. And it's true. It is complete. He is completely unique, and I would recommend. I mean, I think this Grizzly Man definitely Grizzly Man. Just a crazy documentary. um, it's about a man, Timothy Treadwell, who who lived unarmed among the grizzlies for 13 summers. And you can tell he's scared of the grizzly bears. It's sort of, I don't know if he really respects. I mean, he does. I mean, he survived 13 summers, so he knew what he was doing. But then, I guess in the end, maybe he didn't. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, if I do run into trouble, I have the sheet. So, there's a lot of people, I think, going back to 80s cinema, because 80s cinema was, I mean, there must have been a lot of 80s cinema that was bad, and we only really remember the good, I would think. You know, but it was different back then. Different because there were different times that we were living in. But I love the 80s cinema and 70s. I've got 70s cinema is one of my words on the list. 70s cinema, of course, was, you see, there was this thing happening, and I think it was happening in the 60s, where it was starting to movies were starting to get a bit more realistic. But I guess they were filming on location. I mean, they were filming on location with Buster Keaton and everything, but I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but 70s cinema is definitely started to get more violent and more kind of shocking. You know, like the horse's head in the bed for The Godfather, and right at the end there you had the Alien movie with with John Hurt, and there was Taxi Driver, which was kind of shocking too. There's a great big list of stuff that, I mean, even Jaws, I think, was 70s. I think it was. And there's a chat room here with nobody in it. I can say something. Um, we're at 7 minutes. We're at 8 minutes. We're at 8 minutes. The camera, I think, is I'm starting to get a bit fuzzy here. I maybe should have put out like a thing saying that I was about to, it is actually quite early in the day too. It's only like 10:07. But hold on. Can you imagine if you just ran the live stream for like 6 hours? And what would we do? What would we actually do? Another movie that I liked. I think this has not been a terribly good a terribly good show at the moment, but has anybody seen Time Bandits? Time Bandits is like that's like one of the best movies of the 80s. And there's just so many people in this thing, you know. You've got so you got John Cleese, Sean Connery, Shelley Duvall, Ian Holm, Michael Palin, Ralph Richardson, and David Warner. I mean, David Warner was just so good, or is, I don't know. No, I don't know if he died. I can't remember. And so many people dying right now. It sounded quite dark, didn't it? It's a movie, a very unique movie. because there aren't very many movies made with vertically challenged people where it's the whole cast. Although there is one person, Kevin, who is he's like the main character really, and I can't remember his name. He's either, I guess he's, I don't know. But you got Kenny Baker, um, and of course George Harrison. I think maybe Pink Floyd and George Harrison gave the money to make that movie happen, and it's, it's just one of Terry Gilliam's best movies. But definitely, you've just got to see it. Um, I try to get people to see it, but they don't really listen much. Um, they don't listen to what I have to say. We're currently at 11 minutes. Should we go to 15 minutes, or should we? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm thinking of what happened. You see, did I talk about the internet? There was meant to be a live show happening on the 11th of April, and that was when the internet was meant to be, a wireless internet was being installed, and there was some hardware problems. We didn't have dongles, and so that's why I've been without internet for 7 days, and we're still having problems with my dongle. and and it won't work. But we managed to get um the cable to plug into the phone, and there. Why goodness, I'm really in sharp now. So yeah, we managed to get the cable to plug in, and I have internet again, but it's a bit of a pain because it's going across the floor and it's going to be in the way. I don't know what will happen, whether we'll get it working or not. But I did. I was really. It was annoying for me because I couldn't tell anybody that the live show was cancelled, and I really, really wanted to go live, and that's why I'm going live right now. Does anybody like the Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters from uh the 1980s? I think, was it? That's an 80s movie. It's got to be. I would say probably early 80s. But I don't know because I actually saw Ghostbusters 2 at the movie theater when I was a kid, and I think I want to say that was 1989, 88, 89, and it was quite a it was quite a kind of creepy in areas, um and of course not well received. Like, people do not like it, but I think that it has some of the best stuff in it. Like, I once so they're saying to Egon, they're saying, "You didn't have any toys as a kid, did you?" And he says, "We once had a slinky. We once had part of a slinky, but I straightened it." I mean, that to me anyway. I mean, that to me is just a very, very funny line, and is you know, it's very, very funny to me. So 90s cinema, of course, was that was when I was I would be sort of crossing over into being a teenager, and there was so many things and happening. There's Men in Black, The Fifth Element, Jurassic Park was happening. The first one and the second one, and I think the third one was maybe like 2001 or something. But the third one was quite disappointing actually. But the first two, I particularly, you see, I believe that they got me right at exactly the right time in my life when I saw Jurassic Park: The Lost World. That was the absolute perfect time for me to see it, and I've been talking about this quite a lot recently. Where, like, say for example, you're 11 years old and you see Avatar, like the first one or even the second one, and I think that you would absolutely love it, you know. And then when you get so you grow up and you become 40-year-old, and you're looking back on all this stuff, and you're looking at Avatar: The Way of Water, and you're just like, okay, it's like I actually saw it recently, and it's good, right? It's actually it was the first 60 minutes was actually very good, and then it kind of got a bit tedious after that, and then it kind of turned. I watched it in across 2 days in two 90-minute uh chunks, and I don't think I would have liked to have watched it as a 3 hour 12-minute thing. I think that would have been really exhausting. So, but I would give it like a 6 out of 10, I think. And it's okay. If you were um if you were 11, though, I think you would probably love it, and you wouldn't have anything you see really to compare it to. You're an 11-year-old, and uh yeah, that's really all I have to say about it, I think. Um, there was one of the odd, strange things that happened too was the dinosaur movies. It seemed like Jurassic Park was the only thing that was making dinosaur movies until recently when we got the Adam Driver movie, which is called 65. And then I think it's strange. I thought it was just called 65, but when you watch it, it says 65 million years ago. And it's a dinosaur movie, like a big, like it looked like it had quite a budget. And again, here's the thing about it, right? It's so I am actually clearly the target audience for that movie, um, because it's everything that I love, right? It's dinosaurs, it's spaceships, there's a bit of space in it. There's gadgets like the weaponry, the bombs. It's a survival movie. What we say, wilderness survival. Everything there is like what I love, and so I was the target audience for that. Um, but that movie I think was a little bit. It was a little bit disappointing too. But it's a good one. It is a good movie, and Adam Driver is it's really really good in it. I really love Adam Driver in like everything he's done. Uh, and it's nice to see a movie that was just an hour and a half. There's actually been a couple of those that I've watched recently. Um, so there was I saw another one which was from 2008 called UFO that had Gillian Anderson is in it, and this other guy. It's like the young guy. He's the lead. Gillian Anderson. She may be on the front cover, but she's not really in it very much. And it's called UFO, and it's very much a love letter, I think, to meth, because you've got this guy doing all this meth in it. It reminds me of the movie Contact, which is a really good movie if you haven't seen that one and you want you want a bit of substance in your science fiction. And then it's only an hour and a half long, this UFO movie, and it's actually really really good. It keeps you like on edge of your seat. You're like, what is going on here? And so it's about investigative journalism and math, and he's using the math to like um what's the word? Uh People are saying things, this happened and this happened, but he's using the math and he's saying, actually, no, this doesn't, he's using the angles and his math skills to prove it wrong. I don't know if I'm selling the movie here I'm not very good at that. But but all I can really say is, it was a good one. Uh, get back to the sheet. um, Star Trek. It says Star Trek on here, and it also says Star Wars. I do. I like the old Star Trek, but here's the thing about the original 1960s Star Trek, and I want to be quite clear here on this. There's 3 seasons, and a lot of it is not very good, and so I don't want to say how many episodes were like great, but I know that at least 15 episodes were absolutely great, outstanding, brilliant writing, and and the cast are great, William Shatner, uh, Leonard Nimoy, and DeForest Kelly. Great. That's like the main 3, but everybody's great in it. And it looks so nice, the colors and the lighting and everything. I think they they complain, I think, sometimes about how it was low budget, but you should have seen what was going on in the UK at the time. We were still in black and white, I think, maybe. Because we came out of the war, like in a really bad way. From what I understand, in World War II, we came out of it really bad, like financially totally destroyed, and America didn't. I think they were actually okay financially. Uh, but you've got you have Star Trek: The Next Generation, which again I was a teenager when that came on. Was I? I think I was actually I think I was only about 8 or 9 when that came on. It was very strange actually. But this is Mr. Worf. He is from the Next Generation, and what I do remember enjoying, really enjoying, was Deep Space Nine and Voyager. And I think I was again. It was like the timing was right. I was I was the perfect age, and those two shows were so good. Yeah. And then it goes to Star Trek Enterprise, and the first 2 seasons of that are very good, and then it's just disaster after that. Star Wars very much is a thing at the moment, and there's a lot of Star Wars happening right now. The Mandalorian, which is getting a bit you might say it was getting a bit wobbly at the moment. but season 3, episode 2 was amazing of The Mandalorian. Just, oh my word. So, so good. Um, we've been going for 25 minutes. 25 minutes here. Do you think I could go to 40 minutes? Could I actually go to 40 minutes? I don't know. I really don't know. This is also a food. There's the shorts, the food shorts, or oh whoa, here's a person. It's a person. Mick Jagger. Mick Jaggerix. Oh, hello there. Hello there. um, there was nobody for 25 minutes. It's James. Is that James Russell from? Maybe I shouldn't have said his name. I, I don't know. It could be James from Mana Pro. From okay. Yes, from company. Yep. Hello there. Are you still working there? I have to keep going here because it's a live show. But I hope you are well, sir. I remember you. You were memorable. I remember this guy. He tried to recommend some animation to me, and it was what was it? It was Doctor. I'm not sure. I can't remember the name, but I did watch the first episode of it. It was actually pretty good. Doctor. No, no. Yeah, I was just saying that with a live show, it has to keep rolling, and you have to keep it going. And I'm not very good at speaking in continuously, though sometimes I do get verbal diarrhea, and you cannot stop me, and it does get me into trouble. Sometimes at work, and and I actually have been known to get quite loud with my rambling on, and yes, it's true. I was actually kind of going to wrap it up, but I need to. But I'm thinking that we could try to go to 40 minutes. S the hope really for cinema at the moment, in my opinion, is a man called Robert Eggers, and he has only made 3 movies so far, but they've all been good. And the reason they've been good is because he does a lot of research. And so he did he did The Witch, and then he did The Lighthouse, and then most recently he did The Northman. The Northman was where he was given quite a budget, and it's actually there's this person kind of famous called William Shakespeare, and he did a play called Hamlet, and The Northman is actually it's actually Hamlet, but it was written a long time before Hamlet, and William Shakespeare actually took it and kind of stole it. And he's actually, you can check this out. You research this for yourself. But Shakespeare was actually kind of a plagiarist, and the Northman was kind of special because it was a like the first really good movie about Vikings, and where was I going? And I guess it's special because it's like I say, it's this original sort of Hamlet, and the Academy, so the Oscars, they just kind of decided to, I think it's called snubbing, and they decided to snub the movie because they said it was a racist movie, which is absolute nonsense. But but that's that's what they did. So the Northman was completely ignored for the Oscars. There's curry powder. I don't know if I was using curry powder a lot when I was working with James, but yeah, uh James was actually really nice towards me, and he he was. I wonder if he still works there. I don't know. Is he driving the forklift now? I've been driving forklifts now for about uh something like 2 or 3 years, and I don't know if he's still there. It was funny though. It's amazing when you do a live show who pops up in chat. The last time it was Scott, and I have not seen Scott in it's like 20 odd years. I may look young on here, but I'm actually 41. Uh huh. So is anybody? You see, I could tell. I could. There's these things in the UK. I don't think you can see that, but it says Smarties. In the UK, Smarties are actually they're more like M&Ms, and over here, Smarties are like this, which is no, you cannot see it, but and then there's something called Lemonhead, chewy Lemonhead. I don't know what this is. Maybe put it like that, because like I say, YouTube tends to like. I don't know if they like me doing this, so I could try one of the lemon heads. Let's try one of the lemon heads. Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. Lemon heads. It's an orange one. I'm going to try it. I actually have a cavity, and it's been getting worse and worse. And I should not really be putting the sugary things into the mouth, but oh yeah, this is good. That's actually quite a nice candy. Um, one of my favorite things when I'm in the kitchen cooking is olive oil, and olive oil can change a food from being like a really awful food to tasting really really nice. And I do want to I want to try and tell people about that kind of thing, because with tuna in a tin can, uh Just put it into a pot with olive oil, and it will change the taste completely. And do recommend that. Also, just like getting it into like a good mayonnaise and mixing it around is nice too. But you have to like those. Like if you don't like that stuff, then it's not going to help at all. But I was saying before, I don't know if he's still here or not because I can't really say. But he like James, if you have not seen this movie, Time Bandits, then you must check it out. I think I don't wonder if James would like it. He might. It's very very good, and there's nothing really like it. Uh, we got to 35 minutes. We're nearly at 36 minutes. I hope the sound is working well. I did do tests beforehand, and it seemed to be working pretty good. I should have grabbed more stuff so I could keep on talking. One of my trigger words on my sheet here is David Lean. Of course, it's going back a while, but David Lean was responsible for doing great big, epic movies that my dad. You see, my dad was a big fan of because he grew up in that time period when David Lean was releasing his epics. So he had things like Bridge on the River Kwai, which I think is his best one. It's a World War II movie, kind of a prisoner of war movie, but they have to build this bridge, and it has Alec Guinness in it. This is one of the best movies. If you like World War II, if you like prisoner of war movies, if you like Alec Guinness. Alec Guinness, of course, was Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original Star Wars, and just a great actor. And he is in Bridge on the River Kwai. But David Lean made lots of epics like Lawrence of Arabia and Doctor Zhivago. And but I liked his older ones with his black and white ones, like Hobson's Choice, which is a kind of a comedy about it's kind of about a I mean, how would we it's about a man who gets drunk quite a lot, I think, and he's kind of and then there's a man who makes shoes is also in the movie, and it's Hobson's Choice. Uh check out Hobson's Choice. Even yeah, I was going to say something there, but so I will be going live again, probably like very very soon. Like even I may finish it, but I may have a little break and then come back and do more, because it is interesting this, and but I'm gonna go away for the moment. But it was good to see. It was good to see James on here. I thought it was another James, but I will. Bye bye for now, and I'll see you soon.